Let us continue in our beautiful spiritual letters by François Fénélon. The fear of death not taken away by our own courage, but by the grace of God. The fear of death not taken away by our own courage, but by the grace of God. I am not in the least surprised to learn that your impression of death becomes more lively in proportion as age and infirmity bring it nearer. I experience the same thing. There's an age at which death is forced upon our consideration more frequently by more irresistible reflections and by a time of retirement in which we have fewer distractions. God makes use of this rough trial, to undeceive us in respect to our courage, to make us feel our weakness, and to keep us in all humility in His own hands. Nothing is more humiliating than a troubled imagination in which we search in vain for our former confidence in God. This is the crucible of humiliation, in which the heart is purified by a sense of its weakness and unworthiness. In His sight shall no man living be justified. This is in Psalm. I can't make out which one because it's written in Roman numbers and no. All right, sorry about that. So in His sight shall no man living be justified. The heavens are not clean in His sight, and in many things we offend all. We behold our faults and not our virtues, which latter it would be even dangerous to behold if they are real. We must go straight on through this deprivation without interruption, just as we were endeavoring to walk in the way of God before being disturbed. If we should perceive any fault that needs correction, we must be faithful to the light given us, but do it carefully, lest we be led into false scruples. We must then remain at peace, not listening to the voice of self-love, mourning over our approaching death, but detach ourselves from life, offering it in sacrifice to God, and confidently abandon ourselves to Him. When dying, whether he was not afraid of the judgments of God, someone asked Saint Ambrose, and he answered, "We have a good master," said he, and so must we reply to ourselves, we need to die in the most impenetrable uncertainty, not only as to God's judgment upon us, but as to our own characters. We must also be reduced as to have nothing to present before God but our wretchedness and His mercy. Our wretchedness is the proper object of His mercy, and His mercy is all our merit. In your hours of sadness, read whatever will strengthen your confidence and establish your heart. Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. Pray for this cleanness of heart, which is so pleasing in his sight and which renders him so compassionate to our failings. One more. Sensitiveness under reproof, the surest sign we needed. I greatly desire that you may have interior peace. You know that it cannot be found except in lowliness of mind, and lowliness is not real except it be produced by God upon every proper occasion. These occasions are chiefly when we are blamed by someone who disapproves of us and when we experience inward weakness. We must accustom ourselves to bearing both these trials. We are truly lowly when we are no longer taken by surprise at finding ourselves corrected from without and incorrigible within. We are then like little children, below everything, and are willing to be so. We feel that our reprovers are right, but that we are unable to overcome ourselves in order to correct our faults. Then we despair of ourselves and expect nothing except from God. The reproofs of others, harsh and unfeeling as they may be, seem to us less than we deserve. If we cannot bear them, we condemn our sensitiveness more than all our other imperfections. Correction cannot then make us more humble than it finds us. The interior rebellion, far from hindering the profit of the correction, convinces us of its absolute necessity. In truth, the reproof would not have been felt if it had not cut into some living part. Had death been there, we should not have perceived it. And thus, the more accurately we feel, the more certainly we know that the correction was necessary. In other words, if it doesn't hurt, how can we become aware of our weaknesses? There's a reason why we hurt. It's a signal, it's a sign that it's something within us that needs to be corrected. I beg your forgiveness if I have said anything too harsh, but do not doubt my affection for you and count as nothing everything that comes from me. See only the hand of God, which makes use of the awkwardness of mine to deal you a painful blow. The pain proves that I have touched a sore spot, you see? When you speak the truth to someone close to you, it will touch a sore spot in them because it will convict them. And that resistance causes the pain. But if they have the humility to accept what you're telling them, then it will not hurt them. It's true. I am like that. It's true. Thank you for showing me. Yes. So the pain proves that I have touched a sore spot, yet yield to God, acquiesce in all his dealings, accept in all his dealings, surrender to all his dealings, and you will soon be at rest and in harmony within. You know well enough how to give this advice to others. The occasion is important, critical. Oh, what grace will descend upon you if you will bear like a little child all the means God employs to humiliate and disposes you of your senses and will. I pray that he may so diminish you that you can no longer be found at all. Isn't that a great prayer? That's a great prayer. Lord, diminish me that I cannot be found at all. In other words, I must disappear completely. I must decrease so that he can increase. Will you pray that prayer? Enjoy and accept reproof from God. It's a blessing because it proves that he loves you and wants to correct you. God bless.